My friend traumatized a burglar, but it was so funny we got away with it. In college, I was throwing an end-of-year party at my house when I suddenly felt the urge to throw up. Both bathrooms were occupied, so as a last resort, I stumbled outside and puked into the bushes. When I was finally done and looked up, I noticed my neighbor's window was wide open, which was strange because he was at the party and he lived alone. I crept over to check it out, and that's when I saw some guy with a travel bag stuffing everything valuable he could find into it. It took me a minute to process what I was seeing. But once it clicked, I sprinted back upstairs and shouted that someone was robbing the house next door. Some of the girls called the police. But the guys? It was already too late for that. A few of them grabbed brooms. One guy somehow found a roll of duct tape. Then they all stormed across the street like it was a mission. The burglar spotted them and panicked, trying to escape through the same window he came in from. But he didn't stand a chance. The mob of drunk dudes tackled him to the ground and started beating him with the brooms. He just laid there, paralyzed with fear, as more of our friends poured outside. The duct tape guy wasted no time. He ran up and started tying the burglar's hands and feet together. And for some reason, the guy didn't even resist. A moment later, someone brought out a giant trash bag, and somehow, we managed to slide his entire body inside it. He looked like a wrapped Christmas present, with his head sticking out while we kept taping him up like a cartoon villain. The guy just sat there, mumbling, "Please let me go. I swear I'll never come back." Still no sign of the police. Then one genius suggested getting more stuff to tie him up with. At this point, the guy already looked like a human caterpillar, but sure, why not? A few of them ran off to the dollar store to get rubber bands. They came back 10 minutes later, not with rubber bands, but with an entire rope. They weren't trying to hurt him, so I figured everything was fine and went inside to check on the rest of the party and see if the cops were on their way. 5 minutes later, I came back out, and somehow they had tied him upside down to a lamppost. He was dangling there like a Halloween decoration while the party kept going. Everyone was still drunk. The police were unbelievably late, so we just brought the speakers outside and kept partying around the human caterpillar. I think someone even offered him a beer, but, well, he couldn't exactly drink it upside down. Some of our neighbors came out to complain about the noise until they saw him. Once we explained what was going on, they burst out laughing and thanked us for catching the burglar. Finally, 15 minutes later, the cops showed up. They were clearly trying to act serious, but you could see they were struggling not to laugh. Turns out they'd been looking for this guy for a while and couldn't believe this was how he got caught. They weren't mad, especially since we were all 18 and nobody actually hurt him. The best part? They didn't even untie him properly. They just loaded him, still half in the trash bag and duct tape, into the back of their car and drove off with the human caterpillar.